All right.
They're talking with Auburn right now.
This one.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Perfect.
Are we going to talk about that at all?
What's that there? Singleton thing?
Mhm.
Yeah, of
How
course.
many drops do we have today, too?
A lot.
5, 7, 7. Nope. 6. Wait, I need somebody to do math.
Too many to count. Doesn't matter.
Zeus night's going on.
All right, wait, hang on. 21 drops.
No, there's no way there were 21 drops. There's absolutely no way.
Malcolm freaking dropped it right
There's
there.
no way.
39 minus 18.
Yeah, but they weren't all drops. There were some incompletions.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay.
I'd say there was probably at least 10 drops in the game.
No one listened to me. I don't know anything.
I didn't say you didn't know anything. I'm just
No,
like,
I was pointing at my dad. Sorry to make some
I mean, why not?
Oh, probably no one.
Yeah.
Probably no one. All right, guys. Welcome to the post game of the Iron Bowl presented by PepperTree Steaks and Wine. A perfect way to end the night with a PepperTree burger.
It was delicious.
Yeah, we were having. So
had to have something that was good coming out at the end of the day.
So I'm glad that we at least had to have some PepperTree. But everybody should head over to PepperTree and get either some hamburger meat, anything, steaks, whatever.
Everything you get's good, so it doesn't matter what it is that you pick. It's really
their wine
good.
selection too. I mean, anyone wants to drown the pain, you please.
That's got to be a bestseller right now for Auburn people.
They need to be making some sort of like deal of whatever can drown your Auburn sorrows. So, Kathy, we need to talk about that.
Man. Once again, Auburn finds a way to not finish a game. There's so much that you can dive into, and we are here tonight because it is going to be our last, obviously, football show because this team ain't going anywhere else. And now we shift gears to a coach. Who is it going to be? What does the future of this program look like? This is 5 consecutive years now, which is hard to believe. When you go back, Faith, and reflect on what we talked about coming out of spring football and in the summer and analyzing the schedule 6 ways to Sunday like we did and talking everything we talked over the summer that we were just absolutely exhausted about talking about the same thing, but knew that this team was poised with the roster and the schedule to have a really good season. You know, you knew there were going to be 4 really tough games, but felt like 8 were very winnable. And then you end the season the way you do. I told you, law of averages tell you that if you have 8 games that come down to the end, and basically over the last couple of years, 8 crucial games coming down the end, one of them would be like you would go, no, more than one's going to go your way. You know, you're going to get 2 or 3. Not a single one has gone Auburn's way. Not a single one. And a lot of it has to do with Auburn not being able to make plays. Like you and I and Jason were talking about this on the sideline at the very end of the game. Yes, the officials, yes. I think they deserve the acronym that you gave them, Justin. I agree. They stick their nose in at crucial times when guys should just be able to play the game. But for the most part, Auburn had chances to win the game, and they couldn't make the play. And you and I talked about that this week. Can Auburn make a play? They haven't been able to make a play in this game the last 2 times in the Iron Bowl. You know, whether you drop a punt with Coy Moore in 21 or you come back like 2 years ago and you give up a 4th and 31. You're not making plays. And so tonight, despite the excuse my French, the shitty start, 17 to nothing, you come back and have the football driving down after Alabama goes on a 7-minute drive, by the way. You couldn't get off the field 3 times on 4th down. You have the ball, and your key guy in Cam Coleman fumbles. Hey, look, he took a hard shot, but you had the ball at the 20-yard line with about 40 seconds. You had a legit shot to go down and tie. And I don't know what the decision would have been for DJ Durkin. Would you have just rolled the dice and gone for 2 and try to win it there? Or would you have kicked the extra point going overtime? I don't know. But the point is, you lost the game in the first quarter. You can't start. You had the ball for 2 minutes.
How many times?
2 minutes.
How many times though has Auburn either started out the game doing really, really well and they find a way to lose it in the fourth quarter? Or how many times have they started like the way they did tonight and haven't been able to climb out of that hole?
Yep.
That's literally been all season.
Yep. And Tubbs, I'm just going to give you a disclaimer tonight, Tubbs, because you're overly negative a lot of times. Let me just say this. I ain't going to argue with you tonight. You feel free to just load the comment section down with whatever. I hear everything you say, man. I get it. Look, I can buy into all the conspiracy stuff about not getting the calls and stuff, but at the end of the day, the damn team had a chance to win the game, and the official didn't cause him to fumble. Okay, and I hear you about Ashton Daniels, but when you look down and see what he did tonight after the first quarter, it wasn't bad. He gave Auburn a chance to win. So look, I'm just not even going to go down that rabbit hole with you.
I know,
I'm just not.
I agree, but I do think it is something that we've got to talk about. Where it is, you do have these guys making routine passes and routine catches, and you can't even go and do that because again, what kind of offense have?
That's my point.
They've been holding in that Hugh Freeze said, we're trying, we're close or whatever. Is it because they can't make some of those routine passes? I don't know.
Well, my point's going back to his comment about not getting the calls.
I know.
The lack of execution doesn't have a damn thing to do with lack of calls. I feel him. We've all had the conspiracy of protecting the playoff teams, right? And that's what's happened. And I'm not saying that, look, whatever. There were a lot of things. We can go back frame by frame on a lot of plays. And I had former Alabama, for all you Alabama fans out there watching, thinking, you're just going to get on here and whine and complain. I had a former All-American Alabama player come up to me after the game, or actually in the fourth quarter when Auburn had the ball, and said, "Hey, man, I'm just going to tell you, some of these calls against y'all were crap." And did he not say it?
And it's been like that all year. And everybody can always have something and argue to say or whatever. But guess what? You can't control what the officials say, call, whatever. You can only do what you can control and take care of business that way. Because again, you've got that third party in there, whatever. But you can't have Cam Coleman fumbled the way he did. You can't have these Eric Singleton with horrible. 9 targets tonight, only catching 3 of them. That's unbelievable.
And 3 or 4 of them were just really, really
literally
high.
He had the ball in his hands and then just forgot.
He caught another one and fumbled it. And if Cam hadn't have been right there, that would have been a turnover.
That would.
It's just a lot. Look, I'm not going down that rabbit hole either. But
I don't know that 4 fumbles tonight.
I don't know that Eric Singleton dropped that many in his career. No, I'm just being honest. I think it's something to look at there.
I think there is something to look into with him. No question of. There's no way that Eric Singleton was able to drop those passes.
There were 3 of them right in his hand. I look.
That would have been critical moments for Auburn to make it down the field.
No, I totally agree. I mean, it's inexcusable to have 2-3 catches for 26 yards. You drop 7 of them. I look, here's the tip of the hat to Malcolm Simmons. I wanted to ask, I just didn't. I just really wanted to get out of there. The press conference lasted 8 minutes. There really ain't anything else to say. Okay. There's really nothing else to ask of anybody sitting up there at that podium that starts off saying, well, it was disappointing. I've heard that till everybody's blue in the face. We get it. So are we. So are we. you know, and I'm disappointed that we get fed the same line of crap no matter who it is up there. You know, whether it's you coming off. All right, so I heard the explanation of you called a timeout and you ran 10 damn men back on the field. You called a timeout and you didn't have enough men. And it was like, well, you know, Kieran was down with Kieran was hurt. And, you know, he didn't tell anybody coming off the field that so we thought he was back out there and he wasn't out there. Don't feed me that. Don't feed me that line of crap when you got guys making millions of dollars to help. I mean, you called a timeout. Can you not count? Can you not make sure you knew the guy was hurt? So then you come down here and you just came back and you said that. So, hey, you're the trash. You can see yourself on the way out of here. But that's to me the point. That's the point of it, is that you have little things like that you inflict on yourself. And then when you get down 17-0, it's hard. When you don't play, you give up basically an entire quarter. You know, you're fighting up a hill.
I agree. I think
how's life in your mama's basement, Derek? Tell me about it.
I think the entirety of the game was literally crawling out of, you know,
right.
Crawling out of a hole that you dug yourself in.
Right.
You know, and again, the officials, whatever, you can say whatever you want because Auburn was the one that was making the damage inflicted to themselves. Mm-hmm. And you've seen that all the way from the Oklahoma game, the Texas A&M game, Georgia game.
Right.
That's it. They do it to themselves. And that's, again, where you say, okay, there has to be some sort of change. Right. I know that we made the change with Hugh Freeze. He was out of there. You get DJ Durkin as the interim head coach. Your defense significantly declines.
Right.
Who's going to come in? Who's going to come in and save the program? Is it about roster retention anymore? Is it about?
Who are you trying to save?
My point exactly.
Right. Yeah. We'll go through again. Appreciate all the comments, even the a-holes. Y'all just keep them coming. We'll pick the ones that we feel like we can get to and interact with. But bottom line is, when you look at Alabama stats, they had 280 yards of offense.
Yep.
They had 73 plays. Auburn had 75. You know, that's one of the things that when you look at it from a time of possession, you asked me about time of possession. The time of possession got off there in the first quarter when you only had the ball for about 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
And so you got down 17-0, and then you fought back in time. I want to go back to Malcolm Simmons. The question should have been asked: 5 targets, 3 catches. He's been the explosive player the last 2 weeks. Shouldn't you have had a game plan to target him 10 times instead of Cam or Eric Sims? He's obviously proven to be the guy that can make plays after the catch in the open field. Most of these other guys, they catch it, they go down, you know, or they drop it. I haven't seen Malcolm. He dropped one against Mercer, but for the most part, tonight he was the offense. And, you know, you and I were looking at it, and you look at his yards. He had 143 of Auburn's 411 yards on 2 plays, basically. So that's where a majority of that came from. And, you know, credit Auburn for fighting back. But, you know, it's the same song, different verse. And not a very good Alabama team. It's definitely not one of the best. Like, their record's good. They've been able to get through some games, but for the most part, this is not some world beater team. Georgia's the same way. I mean, Georgia has had one close game, but the difference is they find ways to win these games more times than not, and Auburn doesn't. That's really the bottom line. And you asked me about, you know, the future of Auburn's quarterback situation for Ashton Daniels, or we didn't see Deuce. We thought we'd see Deuce Knight in for a little bit tonight. Didn't see him in for a single play. You gave Ashton Daniels the week off last week, so he has the opportunity to either transfer or if Auburn wants to bring him back or whatever. But like you said to me walking over here, is that really the future? Is that what, like, is Ashton Daniels really the quarterback of Auburn's future? I don't think he is. I'm not slighting him. I thought he competed pretty well tonight. I mean, there were some things he didn't do, but for the most part, I thought he competed pretty well. The one pick was not on him. He did throw a missile to Omar Madsen. It bounced up. So if you want to say, yeah, he had part of it, but But for the most part, he played well enough to give Auburn a chance.
Here's the thing: how many times did the receivers or Omar? How many times did it bounce off their chests for them to drop it tonight? I feel like that was just.
And that's a cardinal sin. You know that as a receiver. And a receiver coach, you don't catch the ball with your chest, you catch it with your hand.
I mean, but seriously, how many times did you see? I know I have picture frame by frame of it bouncing and deflecting.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't really know.
Yep. Matthews, Alabama, actually classy Alabama fan. Yeah, I mean, again, I thought Alabama played hard too. Like, again, I think Alabama – They don't have a good running game. Hey, like, this is not a cut on them. And Ty Simpson didn't have a good night. You can say whatever you want to say. He's 19 and 35, had 122 yards passing. A lot of the things were just underneath, and Auburn brought pressure, and they did a lot of different things to kind of confuse him. So there are things on both sides. There's things on both sides. So, but proud of what Ashton Daniels did, 18 of 39, 259 yards and a touchdown. Then we had the call where we didn't line up correctly when Malcolm scored a touchdown. That was another big play in the game.
I mean, he was the one.
And he was the one that wasn't on the line. He was the lone receiver, and he's got to know to be on the line of scrimmage. I mean,
there's so many fundamental mistakes that have happened, and it's because you don't have a coach that is going to make the difference happen, or that is coaching these kids up to make it to the next level. How, at the beginning of the year, how many first-round draft picks did we say that we were going to have? And now, how many first-round draft picks do you see on this team?
I don't see many.
One.
Yeah, don't see many. Ryan said Cobb finished the game with about 40 yards shy of 1,000. He had 2 games to get over 1,000. What do you have, 904 or 906 coming into Mercer?
Yep.
And he still didn't get 1,000. What did he have tonight? Running the ball, had 35 yards. You looked
35 yards.
You looked at me and said, Jeremiah Cobb, he got 10 touches for – now, majority of the rushing came from Ashton Daniels, and it was a design deal. I mean, we ran the quarterback draw more than I believe I've ever seen, and it worked. I mean, you got 3 or 4 yards. You were getting ahead of the chains. It was working. So, look, you can't argue with it.
He had 114 yards.
Yep.
I mean – but again, somebody, I don't know who commented it, but somebody commented it and said he looked scared to run. Like he didn't in the past, but tonight he looked scared to run and go down there and take some hits. I mean,
Yep. So bottom line is when you look at it, he balled there. Ty Simpson balled with 122 yards. I mean, whatever, brother. So DS says we can't hire Dirk and we got to hire a winner. Just pay the money. I laugh too, Justin, clown. So I don't know. At this point, that's where the focus shifts as to who this coach is going to be and who's going to be named the head coach for Auburn. So, PepperTree Steaks and Wine.
Yeah, it's going to be the best thing for you to deal with all these things that keep happening, and the more to come. So, I mean, PepperTree Steaks and Wine is going to be the one positive thing that is going to be consistent.
That's right.
And high quality selection of wine, food, everything of the sort. So excited to hopefully keep doing some stuff with them throughout basketball season.
Yep.
Was able to talk to Coach Williams tonight. I love him. He is one of the best people I've ever met in my entire life. Big fan of Coach Williams. And he's going to be back on the show at some point pretty soon.
Yes, for sure. So always good to see him.
Always.
A lot of great people down on the field tonight, and we're able to talk to them. So again, when you look at it from a standpoint of what Coach Durkin was talking about, it's the same song, different verse, right? On the playing hard, but the execution thing, and you had chances. You had Justin. Yeah, there's a lot of people that feel that way. Really, Kiffin's kind of thrown. Looking at his comment, has thrown a wrench in all this coaching search stuff because he's kind of what is going to be the decision? It's kind of crazy. And then if he leaves, then that opens that job up. And then we were hearing about Golish in Florida now. And we don't really know because it seemed like Summerall, but the Florida fans don't seem to be really favorable for him. And it seems like the ship has sailed with Auburn and Summerall. So, hey.
I don't know. This Auburn team is infected, though, with something. And we're on year 5 of a losing streak.
Right.
And how do you make the right hire to get out of this mess that you're in and bring back the Auburn culture that isn't a losing, mediocre team?
You got to get a leader. You got to get somebody with a vision. And
who is that guy?
I don't know. Exactly. So, that's the question. So, I don't really have – I mean, we've gone through the numbers and, I don't know what else to say other than you now take this body of work and you try to hand it to somebody that has a vision that you feel like that can take this team into the future. But it's been the same stuff for 5 years. Really, there's no other way, and there's no excuses. There is no excuses. So,
I don't know. I mean,
so that's why the postgame show lasted 8 minutes. I mean, the postgame press conference lasted 8 minutes because there's nothing to say anymore. There's nothing. So, and I thought it was interesting the way that Florida fans are reacting to Summerall and the way Auburn fans are reacting to Summerall.
Yeah.
It's two totally and I think they've been through it. They had Billy Napier, and they're thinking that could be a 2-point because I will give this to Florida. They did hire Urban Meyer. They have had some guys down there that have taken them to the mountaintop and been really, really good. So now you go on Billy Napier, and now they're clamoring over John Summerall. I mean, I see where their fans are coming from. I get it a little bit. So I think Auburn has to have that mindset. I think there's a lot of Auburn fans that just feel like John Cohen ain't gonna get this right. I just, agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. So I just think at that point, is it going to be tomorrow? It's what we're hearing, maybe.
Oh, that's what we were hearing.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, because
seriously, the way, and I know that all of this keeps going in circles and stuff like
Right.
that, but I don't know. You just haven't seen enough from John Cohen to give you the confidence to make the right.
Top 5 churches out there. I don't know. I'm not so hate that we had, I guess in the last 3 games, we've had Malcolm Simmons and some of these guys kind of showcase what we all knew they could do. And it was just another waste. You'll look back on this season and you'll see all this talent and it didn't come to fruition.
Again,
whatever
and
you
I
want to
think,
say about it. So
I think if it would have been earlier that Hugh Freeze was fired, how much of a difference do you think that would have made for this season?
if what now?
If Hugh Freeze was fired after Georgia.
I don't know that it would have.
Because
I don't because there's a culture problem down here. It doesn't matter if he I hear what you're saying, but it just feels like it would have been the same stuff. Maybe different against Kentucky, maybe against Missouri. I don't know. I mean, that means you'd have gotten to a bowl game, but it doesn't fix the problem of.
Oh, Hugh Freeze didn't make it to his dream of making it to a bowl game. He didn't make it there. Auburn didn't make it there. He didn't make it with Auburn.
No, I think all of us that are watching and talking about this, we've never seen a 5-year stretch like this in Auburn football history. And, you look in that stadium, and I saw a lot of people we were talking to like that. That is not normal that you have the kind of run Auburn's been on and you get the environment that you get.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was 90% 90% Auburn people
Yep.
in there. It was a sprinkling of Alabama people in there, but it was not like Auburn people just went on StubHub and sold the heck out of their tickets. I mean, there was and the students were there. I mean, you would have thought Auburn was 10-1 coming into this game.
There's literally no question about that.
Yeah, Ed said a 3-man. I heard some people. I had a bunch of text on that on 4th and 2. You rush 3 men. You think you'd learn from that from a couple of years ago, bringing some pressure. I did think the roughing the passer call was trash. I mean, because you get pushed in the back. I mean, and Durkin even talked about that. So there were key moments in there. All right, look, we haven't said much about any officiating. There was some bad stuff in it, but we've talked about that all year. But you had plenty. The reason I don't belabor that point is because you had chances to win. Hey, you had the ball driving down with a chance to tie, or if you score, maybe go for 2, and you fumble the football. You're supposedly getting the ball in your best player's hands, and he fumbled. Like, I hate it for him. I hate it for the kid because he does play hard.
Yeah,
plays hard, but I mean, hey, hold on to the football. Ball security, man. You go and practice that all week, every week. You practice ball security. So
I know, and I feel bad because mistakes do happen like that, and I know that that's not a mistake that you're supposed to make, but with 10 targets tonight and only 5 completed,
I don't, again,
and no one feels worse about it than he does.
Right. So, I mean, outside of that, I mean, nothing really stands out. I mean, the thing that stands out to me is you can't get down 17-0. I mean, you just can't. So, lots of drop passes. You're right, Brandon. Lots of drop passes. Execution, man, that's the major part of the game. I mean, people want to pin things on calls or whatever, but you and I and Jason talked about it. There were on 4th down, you let Ty Simpson scramble around and break 2 or 3 and miss 3 tackles. You had a chance to get off the field there, and you didn't do it.
Yeah.
So they extend the drive, can't get off the field on 4th down. So
yeah, there's so many times where I don't know how he didn't go down, and that's where I don't know. That's where I just sit there and I wonder and I question, because again, he's not some out of the water crazy quarterback that can get out of those situations. He's not. But tonight,
I mean, it's just. I mean, again, you can say what you want. 19-35, 122 yards. Now he did have 3 touchdowns. I mean, 1 in the back of the end zone, 1 on the play where Auburn called timeout. We didn't have enough men on the field. And then the 4th down play. I mean, he came through in some crucial situations. You give him credit there.
Same guy with all 3.
Yeah, Isaiah Horton had a big game for Alabama for sure. Lincoln Riley, I don't mean how happy is he at USC? I don't know. That's a good question. Is that a guy that's a realistic target? I think the thing that you look at is, and he did, Beth. Yes, Malcolm. He did ball out. He should have gotten more targets. Like I 100% think last week and this week he kind of proved that he was the playmaker, and you should have had more opportunities for him.
Yes.
I mean, there should have been way more opportunities for him, especially since Eric Singleton was having the kind of night he had. You go away from him and you start giving it to 4 more. That's another thing that you and I talked about. We talked about going all the way back to Little League. You don't, and I thought DJ Durkin after the Vanderbilt game had a really good point. He said the game plan is to get the ball in your best player's hands. And unfortunately for Malcolm, he didn't get near the touches this year that he should have gotten to make the plays. And he's very explosive after the catch. I know Cam Coleman goes up and makes a lot of highlight catches, a lot of one-on-one deep balls down the field, but there's nobody on the team more electric after the catch in short yardage than Malcolm Sim. I've been watching the guy his whole life. I've been watching him do it since Little League. He's a difference maker. And part of the deal with football is getting the ball to your best players and letting them make plays. And when you don't go out there, it's like we were having a conversation the other night. If you don't have X number of targets per drive for your best players, you're not giving yourself the best opportunity to win. I know there's only so many plays. Auburn ran 75 plays tonight. Okay. But if you don't give your players enough targets to make a difference in the game, you're not giving yourself a chance to win.
I'm sorry. I feel like I was watching the same game I watched last night tonight. And you wait too late to get it to some of your best players.
Right.
And it's too late. I mean, with Malcolm, the difference between Cam and Malcolm, you got those 50-50 balls, and in the back of the end zone, you're going to Cam all day. But Malcolm, you throw it to him in the middle of the field. It doesn't matter if there's two people right there trying to tackle him. He's going to get out of it, and he's going to get down the freaking field. I mean, that's just, like you said, that's what he does. He makes a difference when he's out there on the field.
Right.
Why in the hell are you throwing it to Preston Howard? What on earth are you doing? Getting the ball to number 15.
And he fumbled, which they called it an incomplete. Like, you have seen enough of that. Is that giving yourself the best chance to win when you
putting him out? And even Brandon Frazier, my gosh, the tight ends, that whole area on the field.
I'm not sure there's
them
a worse.
And the coaching staff needs to literally just import somebody else because, oh my gosh.
That's the worst tight end group I think
I've ever seen in my entire life.
The room is just not very good, and they're not reliable. I mean, that was probably the number one common text I had throughout the night is it possible to have a tight end room worse? So Preston Howard in the game in key situations really makes no sense.
Literally, you are setting your team up for failure when you put him in the game.
He has been given multiple chances, and he can't ever make plays. He never makes plays. All the way back to the beginning of the season where he dropped a wide-open pass against South Alabama in the end zone. Like, literally. Like, immediately you saw, and it hadn't gotten any better. So, Wayne agrees, Faith. He agrees with
There's nobody on that field that makes me so mad than Preston Howard. I mean, that kid needs to absolutely transfer out of Auburn with how much hate he receives from.
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean, if Auburn can get Bo Nix out of here, I think they can get Preston Howard out of here. I mean, seriously.
It's not well. But again, I think you're saying what we're talking about. That why is he getting somebody else's opportunity? Why is Malcolm Simmons not getting his targets? Who do you want to roll the dice with?
I agree. I 100% back you up on that.
So, I don't know why anybody's talking to him, Jamie. I mean, just stupid. Like, if you truly think that, then so be it. Tubb said they don't score without roughing call. Had offsides a few plays later. 7-minute drive, aided with several penalties, call them legit or not legit, but starting with that Sylvester Smith interference. And, I mean, look, didn't impede the guy to the point where, and you can say whatever you want to say, but then the one play where Keldrick got completely just tackled in front of the white hat. And again, I remember the Georgia drive that started, and it was the same thing. It's almost the same. Wayne said fire Cohen. It may be coming soon if things aren't done correctly. I mean, I agree, Alexander. I mean, why can't, like, what are you chancing on? Why would you chance on a coach? They're the lead. Like, why can't you go out there and say, we're a top 15 program. We'll give you everything that you need if you're serious about it. I mean, why are you settling?
No, I mean, I agree. And again, when you have the roster right now that you do with the kids on here, it is imperative that if you have any wish to keep any of those kids, that you set them up for success and you let them actually get better, because that's what this college time for them is supposed to be, is you're supposed to train and prepare them.
Yeah.
And I have not seen that from, you've not had a quarterback that has progressed at all in the last couple of years. You've not had, I mean, these receivers, they're not being given the opportunity because you don't have a quarterback that's letting it happen.
Right.
And again, you've got your offensive line that was supposed to be the most experienced group.
Yep,
that
we
was
talked about
supposed to have a few first-round draft picks. Where the hell did that go?
Yeah, no kidding. And look, call crap. Jake Thornton.
He can see himself out too.
Yeah,
him, tight ends coach,
did a horrible job. And look, I mean, yeah. Hey, look, Malcolm, you made it look easy, man. I'm telling you, dude. You just,
and again, you are the only one that is going to get the ball.
Malcolm, we've been saying you should have had 5 more targets in the game. Should have been nothing but, I mean, so proud of you and what you've been able to do the last couple of weeks. And so you're only getting started, brother. You're only getting started. Just proud of what you were able to do. Since you're on here, Malcolm, just kind of send a comment back about those couple of big plays that you had, and just kind of what you saw. If you want to kind of jump in there and chime in on that. But again,
congratulations.
Yeah, should have had way more.
You had a good game. Way
more targets for sure.
But again, I mean, you can't keep. We have this same conversation every single time.
Right. I said it during the game, like, and Malcolm, again, to kind of go along with the theme, not to just keep talking over and over, because I know we have new people coming in and out of the show, but you have to, as an offensive game plan, figure out a way, watching him the last couple of weeks with the explosiveness of the way he was able to make play. If you take him out of the game, Auburn, this is I just want you to talk, Malcolm. I just want you to kind of tell everybody, as everybody's giving you compliments on here, just kind of what you saw and what you did on those plays, because you made 2 really, really big explosive plays in this game. And, just kind of what did you see out of Alabama that allowed you to make those plays? I know you made a couple guys miss, and we're able to get up the field. Just, again, a lot of offense and a couple plays, had 143 yards in receiving. Just whatever you want to elaborate on there, Malcolm, you throw it out there, brother. We appreciate you joining the show. Here's the thing, Derek. Auburn did play like that in several games. They were in several games. The offense has gotten better since Hugh left, took the exit stage left. And again, you played like that, and you play like offense against Texas A&M, maybe Oklahoma, but you had a lead with 7 minutes to go in Oklahoma. I mean, if you want to go back and recap this season, that was my point. You've been in all of these games, and your defense, for the most part, has kept you in these games. And it's just like Malcolm did not – I don't know what his total targets were for the season. Maybe you know, Malcolm. Maybe you can tell us. And I know you're a team guy, but, for the most part, I'm telling you that you were underutilized tonight. And I think you know that too. And
I think you've been underutilized the entire season. We were talking about that on the way over.
He said me being me. That's all I can say. But I've kind of talked about you, Malcolm, tonight, from when I've known you as a little kid all the way to where you are. And you've done this your whole career. And I keep telling people you're just getting started, and you are, because the future is really bright for you. And let me ask you this question, since you're watching, Malcolm, your thoughts moving forward with this roster and your feel of where the team is going to go from here. I know it was a disappointing season, but obviously you guys were in every single game. Fred's coming on here. He's a Bama guy. Hats off there to Malcolm. You're getting a lot of kudos tonight. What's your thoughts, Malcolm, on moving forward with this team? And I mean, there's a lot of great talent on this team. So I'll let you kind of add into that whatever you want to add into. So
I mean, again, there is a lot of really good talent, but again, you can't get the entirety of the talent that you have if you don't have that one person that is dictating everything.
Right.
If they are not, I don't want to say, if they don't have the talent to get the ball to those guys or make the plays happen, and we haven't had the quarterback that's been able to do it.
Right. Daniel, I don't know, man. I mean, they're coming in the feed. I don't know why you can't see them. He's commenting on Facebook, and you are too. So I don't know. It's technology, brother. What can I say? Tim Cook was down there. Maybe I need to call him and see if he can tell us. And what got lost in this is that, hey, by the way, where's Ryan Williams gone for Alabama? Like, I'm not being funny. Like, what happened to him? Like, he couldn't have had a worse. Like, Alabama's had a good season. Obviously, they're going to play for the SEC championship, but man, he has been a zero factor, a non-factor. I mean, to the point where in the third quarter, I looked at a guy in the press box. I said, "Did he make the trip?" So it's just odd.
Yeah, I saw him warming up. I tried to see if he painted his nails before he came, but he had his gloves on.
I'm sure he did.
He might have been.
Yeah, it's just odd, man, because Ryan Williams is a baller too.
No, literally, that's what I was about to say. Like, of everything that was happening, oh, jeez.
No, I doubt it. He could be, but I doubt it. Good Lord.
I mean,
too much time playing with an anxiety doll. So,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's been a long season, I think, for everybody, and obviously not a lot of positivity. But again, of looking, hey, where do you go from here? How do you keep moving forward?
Well, let's look at the standings now that everything's finished. Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M all finished 7-1. Texas 6-2. You know, Texas a silent 9-3, and I know Sarkisian came in there and kind of made some comments like, "Hey, man, we scheduled Ohio State and blah blah and all that." And I guess he's got a point there, but he's 9-3, and everybody that goes 9-3 is always going to be trying to lobby for their team to get in the playoffs, but probably not gonna do it. Oklahoma's 10-2, 6-2. They're right there. What about Vanderbilt, man? Like, what kind of planet are we on that Vanderbilt goes 10-2, 6-2 in the conference? And how do you keep them out of the playoffs, man? How do you keep Vanderbilt out of the playoffs?
Dude, watch out, because now, I mean,
you got four. Now, look, I know you got A&M, Ole Miss, Georgia, 11-1. You got Alabama 10-2. You got Oklahoma and Vanderbilt 10-2. How do you keep Vanderbilt out of the playoffs, man? Seriously. They lost to Alabama. And who was the other one they lost to? They lose to Georgia? Vanderbilt. Who's their losses to? They lost to Alabama, and let's see. Lost to Texas. They got off to a bad start in that game. I forgot. So they lose to Texas and they lose to Alabama. I mean, crap, dude. How do you – but then Texas has the argument, like, how do you let them in and how do we not get – because we beat them. And, like, that's going to be hashed out. All right, Missouri, Tennessee, 4-4, LSU, 3-5, Kentucky, Florida, 2-6, Auburn, Mississippi State, South Carolina, all 1-7, just horrible. And then Arkansas comes in as the bottom dweller at 0-8, just a horrific. They won their first two games and have not won since. Lost 10 in a row, so they've been on a skid. Maybe the only program that's had a rougher time than us, and because we beat them. So that just tells you. So, Jason said Malcolm played great. Hope this roster can stay together. I know, like, we didn't talk much about Deuce. hate that we didn't get to see him in the game some. Again, I thought Ashton competed, but plays weren't made when they needed to be made. And I hate it for Cam Coleman. He did not have a good night tonight. 5 catches for 43 yards and a fumble. So I know he recovered the fumble from Eric Singleton. And you talk about a guy that had a terrible night. It was Eric Singleton. I mean, 3 catches for 26 yards and a boatload of drops. So
never seen him play such a worse game.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, I'm telling you, I don't know anybody in the country that wants to play them right now. They destroyed Tennessee today. I don't know. You can say what you want to say, man. Those guys don't fear anybody. And they find ways to score points and they execute, and they're just, hey, tip of the hat. Talked to a guy tonight, talked to Corey. His mom was a Vanderbilt graduate, said she lived all this time, never thought she'd ever see this.
Yeah.
And so, for people like that, kudos to them because they have always been the bottom dweller. They're not anymore for sure. And they've extended Clark Lee's contract, and then looks like they're trying to flip Georgia's number 1 player, the quarterback. I mean, and this class is crazy, man. All right, stay on a couple more minutes. We'll shut it down because it's after midnight. Again, we appreciate it. Yes, everybody's always welcome to your opinion, but when you come on here spewing hate, I'm going to spew it back. So that's just how it is. I'm not going to spew hate. You can just take the side door out. I mean, you choose to jump in here. Don't come here talking a bunch of junk. Pavia is small. He could be, man. Like he kind of gets knocked for a lot of different things, but man, he just always makes plays. He's just a gamer, man. Some guys are they're Johnny Manziel. I know it didn't pan out in the NFL because he had his mind on a lot of other things other than football. But in college, you couldn't argue. That guy couldn't. That guy freaking made plays, man. A little gnat running around. Can't ever get your hands on him. So, Alabama fan here, what calls would you say were questionable in the game? I definitely think the roughing the passer was a questionable call because he went low, but he was pushed into it. I definitely think that was probably the biggest one. There were a lot of calls that weren't called. There were calls that weren't called that I think were pretty blatant. So, yeah, I'm not referring to you, Derek. You're free to talk, man. I'm not. Don't take it personal, dude. If you think I'm talking to you, I might be. If you think that, but I may not. I'll let you interpret it. So,
yeah, that too.
I mean, there was definitely a shove in the back. I mean, look, there's calls on both sides. I haven't sat on here and talked about a bunch of calls. I don't think.
I mean, you can ask them.
So that's kind of what we think. Kiffin expect to be LSU coach tomorrow. So Ole Miss job open. You want to bet?
I hope so. I hope I'm gonna win it.
Well, if he leaves, you win it. So,
I know.
Look, I don't really know what else to say outside of you should focus to see who the new head coach is going to be, and then from there, it's how do you keep this roster and recruiting, man. You got signing day December 3rd, so yep, you're good, Derek. Appreciate it, man. Always appreciate all of you tuning in.
Oh, per the rule book, below the knees. Yeah.
What's that?
Okay. No, I mean seriously, like the holding call right before that, all that. I mean. I don't know. I
look, bang bang stuff. It is what it is. I think there's a lot again that Auburn could have done that shouldn't have come down to anybody talking about a call. So
honestly, they probably want me.
Yeah, I mean, even if you get blocked, I mean, there has to be some discretion. I mean, turnovers drop like too many mistakes to overcome. Can't get behind 17-0. Bottom line. Said that to start the show. Still stand behind it. Glad we fought back, tied the game up, all that jive. But, when you only play 3 quarters and not 4, it doesn't matter if it's the first or the fourth quarter or whatever. But when you take a quarter off.
Auburn only likes to come out and play 3 quarters.
Yep.
We know that.
Don't ask an Auburn fan for change for $1 because they only give you 3/4 in return, right? All right, so will it be dark and right? Look, here's what we will tell you. If there's breaking news tomorrow, she and I will be back on, and we'll be talking about it. And we'll pass that along whenever there's a press conference to name the new coach. We'll be there for that. So for the new era of Auburn football, it just never ends, man. I told you, it doesn't matter what your record is here at Auburn. It's always interesting. You turn the page, it's like a soap opera. So
I wish we were in the position of we had such a good coach and such a good season that we were worried people were going to take them from us.
Right.
But we're not, so whatever.
Yep. We're not in that position. Maybe we can
suck, be. But it's okay.
Yep. Dillingham at the last second, could it be? I don't know. Could be. He's still in the mix. Golish is in the mix, I think. What's happened with Summerall is my question. We kind of got hit with that in the post game. Got a couple of texts, a little like, I just feel like maybe
because he didn't have any timeouts left on the last drive. Duh.
No, the last drive he did have timeouts. We called all the timeouts on when Alabama had the football.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about when we had the ball when Cam fumbled.
Oh, when Cam fumbled?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
That I don't know. I can't tell you.
That's a good question. We let a lot of clock run down, Dom. I mean, I agree with you. Summerall said tonight he'll meet with his family and decide on opportunities tomorrow morning. Still feels like it's Florida. Let me just tell you, John, they don't want you down there. Now, if things have been said the way they said, I don't think you need to come to Auburn either. But when the fan base is this much against you already, man, you're look, better enjoy that. And he will. He's going to get paid a lot of money, so I guess it don't matter. He can go down there and take a hose and then exit and be like Billy Napier and cash a big old check on the way out. But he's going to go into an environment where a fan base is not happy with that. And I don't know I think Florida said Kiffin or bust, but I think LSU swooped in and offered the world, and that's where he's going to end up. And so Ole Miss, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, all of them are going to be looking for a coach. And how fast, Tiffin is an ass. There's a lot of people who feel like that. I mean, you're right, Derek. I mean, he doesn't look very good. And, he's done a lot for Ole Miss. But if he's going to go take the job tomorrow at LSU, is he not going to coach in this playoff? I mean, all he's talked about is being able to get Ole Miss to the playoff and complaining about fan support and all that. And is that what wins out? I mean, thought there would be an announcement today. They said there would be on his future. They said that. They said there'll be an announcement on Saturday about Lane Kiffin's future at Ole Miss. They ain't said anything.
So now there's planes going in and out of there.
Well, sure. Congratulations, man. But again, just not a very good character guy. I mean, you can say what you want to, and he's played the game and all that. But he did say a few weeks ago, if he left Ole Miss, it wouldn't be for money. If he's going to LSU, that is not going to be the case. So Anthony says Golish is not a fit. Don't call Lane a hoe, though. He'll come out and challenge you with 8 cops around and act like, hey, come in there and call me one. Just Mr. Big Billy Bad A, Lane. You can tell he hasn't enjoyed the last couple of press conferences because he's feeling guilty. His character's in question. And, I just think it's been handled terribly by him the whole way around. So, he'll end up coming out smelling like a rose financially and all that. But I think a lot of people have learned some stuff about him that they already knew. So Billy said, good coach, don't like it so way. Yep. All right. Maybe end on that one. So he's J-Dog said he's full of crap. I mean, there's a lot. Most people feel that way. So, all right, Faith, what else? We're about to sign off here. It's about to be 12:30.
Yeah.
So
everyone has the best day ever.
The last football show, obviously, because there'll be no bowl game, but we'll be bringing you all the updates on the new coach whenever all that breaks. So stay tuned to Auburn Blitz. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do appreciate every one of you that chime in. We do. It's good banter back and forth. If you come at me, and we'll come back, and it's fine. It's all good. And she will too, by the way. They don't.
I hope Preston Howard tries to come at me.
He'd miss. Oh man, he dropped.
Good night, everybody.
He dropped the ball on that. All right, everybody, have a good rest of the night, and look, we'll catch you at some point in time, maybe tomorrow, for more Auburn Blitz. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks, PepperTree Steaks and Wine.
Can this end?